A very good afternoon to one and all. Today we have with us Abimbola OLUOKUN, FCA, and a chartered accountant from Nigeria. We also have with us our group director, Dr. Puneet Kumar Dwivedi ji. We also have with us, we also have with us Professor Neha Shah,
Good afternoon.
Professor Neha Shah, Head Admissions and Faculty at Modern Group of Institution. Before moving further, I would like to give a brief introduction about our organization. Modern Group of Institute is a leading group of premier institute in Indore affiliated to RGPV Bhopal and DAVV Indore, CBSE New Delhi, and approved by AICT New Delhi, NCT and PCI New Delhi. Modern Group is imparting quality education in the field of pharmacy, management, commerce, and education. We offer more than 8 courses in these fields, which includes B Pharma, M Pharma, D Pharma, MBA, BBA, BCom, and B.Ed. Modern Group encompasses two leading pharmaceutical industries, Modern Lab and Nandini Medical Laboratories Private Limited. Modern Laboratories was established in 1979 by late Sri P.C. Khariaji. Nandini Medical Laboratories was established in 1998. Both gained prestigious acclamation in All India rating of pharma industries. We also have Modern International School, established in 2013. We believe in innovation and entrepreneurship, and hence we introduced MP's first pharma incubation center, that is Modern Incubation Center, in the year 2019, sponsored by MSME Government of India. Recently, we have received World Book of Record UK and World Record Academy USA for making largest human image of medication capsule. Also, we are recognizing participating institute of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan in association with IIT Delhi and MHRD Government of India. The institute also have Modern Innovation Council, which is an Institute Innovation Cell, IIC by MHRD Innovation Cell. This was a brief introduction about our organization, sir. Now, I would like to request our group director, sir, Dr. Puneet Kumar Dwivedi, to welcome our guest.
It is really very proud moment to have our esteemed speaker today, chartered accountant Abimbola. Am I audible? Am I audible?
No, sir, no, it is not clear right now. I think some network issue is there, sir.
With me here?
Madam, you can proceed, problem. Yeah, you please proceed.
So I would like to welcome on behalf of our group director, sir.
You please welcome, sir, madam.
Chairman Shri Anil Khariaji, our Vice Chairman Shri Shantanu Khariaji, and on behalf of the entire Modern family, I would like to welcome you, sir, on the international webinar. Now, I would like to give a brief introduction about our guest. So for that, I need to share the slide. Please hold up for a moment. I think my wall is visible now. Is it visible? Yeah.
Visible.
Please go ahead.
Abimbola OLUOKUN. Mr. Abimbola OLUOKUN, high filer, chartered accountant, a chartered tax practitioner. Abimbola OLUOKUN FCA is a principal partner of the accounting consultancy firm Abimbola OLUOKUN and Company, with its head office in Lagos, Nigeria. He has many qualifications in his account. He has done his graduation BSc with second class upper division from University of Lagos. He has done his master degree in finance in May 2013 with University of Lagos. He is a member of in many organizations, which includes member Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, member of Institute of Chartered Accountant of Nigeria, member of Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria. He is also computer literate, more especially in Sage 50 accounting package and financial modeling application. He has got certificate in SME Banking and Financial Services, Entrepreneurship Development Institute, India. To his credit, he had an outstanding and rewarding working experience that spanned over 30 years. He worked in various organizations that cut across accounting and auditing firms, managing consulting firms, banking, chamber of commerce and industry, construction companies, and involved in promoting entrepreneurship development in Nigeria. Before he left to run his own accounting consultancy firm, he attended various international trade, exhibition, conferences, research, and seminar and shows include the famous International Homes and Housewares Business Show 2013-2014 in Chicago, USA. He was participating in SME banking and financial services from the famous Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. His experience at Chamber Movement exposed him to knowledge in his area of public policy advocacy, creation and felicitation of commercial and industrial opportunity, provisional of business development services, and observance of highest standard of business ethics. He is dedicated professional and team player. He loves reading, teaching, playing table tennis as a hobby. On behalf of Modern Group of Institution and the whole family, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much for that brief introduction. I really appreciate it. Well detailed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like...
It is well detailed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now I would like to request you to start the introductory talk on global...
Thank you. Thank you very much. The introduction is highly encouraging. It's well detailed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So now I request you to please start your webinar, your talk on global SME banking and financial services in post-COVID era. Am I audible, sir? Am I audible to you? I think so. I request all the participants to please hold due to some technical error. Yeah, sir is there. Am I audible, sir, now? Am I audible to you now?
Okay, over to me. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Just to introduce on the, okay, thank you very much.
Now over to you, sir. You can start your introductory talk.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. As you said earlier, I'm standing on existing protocol by saying that, good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
sir. I'm talking to the eminent scholars, eminent personalities, ladies and gentlemen that are here present, gentlemen of the press, to say that, why are we here? Good afternoon. It is an honor to be in your midst. You are all welcome, as you said. We are here for SME banking and financial services in post-COVID era. So I've looked at the topic holistically. And the question that I want to ask is that, why are we here? We are here because of the SMEs. SMEs that has done so much for the global economy. SMEs that has do robustly for all the economies throughout the globe. The SMEs that has contributed both in terms of businesses and employment generation. SME alone is the largest employer of labor. The labor they've provided is in excess of 50% worldwide. SMEs cannot be, the importance of SMEs cannot be overemphasized. They have accounted for the largest businesses worldwide. They have about 90% of all the businesses worldwide. The former SME alone contributed about 40% to the national income. I'm referring to the GDP in the economy. The another name for SMEs could have been poverty alleviation programs. So you will agree with me that with that brief introduction of SMEs, with their massive contribution to the economy, is very, very key, is very, very important. That is why our meeting here is not for fun. It's not for cosmetics. It's not for fashion. It's a serious business. You know, I've structured the entire write-ups, I made the presentation on 3 key areas. We are going to focus on 3 key areas. And what are the areas? We are going to focus on policymakers. 1, policy formulations, and policy implementation. Those are the critical 3 areas that we are going to concentrate on. Why am I referring to the policymakers? The policymakers that I'm referring to here, they are 1, the central bank all over the world, the finance ministries all over the world, the regulatory authorities, and the government. Those are the policymakers that we are making reference to here. But why am I shouting on the policymakers? I'm shouting on them that this time around, this time of pandemic, what we expect from them is that they should have prompt and effective coordination of their thoughts. They should gather themselves together and ensure that they have an effective coordination of all policy makers worldwide. Why am I saying that they should get their thoughts right? Is that the policy document that they are going to produce for us after this pandemic must be an effective one, must be the one that can stand the test of time. You know, so at the end of the pandemic, we don't have what I refer to as policy inconsistencies and policy somersaults. Let me emphasize that again. We are calling on the policymakers that please get your house in order, get your thoughts accumulated, get your thoughts upright, be proactive, so that the policy document that you produce to us can stand the test of time. So we don't have policy inconsistencies and policy somersault. That's number 1. Number 2, why we are calling on the policymaker is that it's glaring to everybody now that financial infrastructure that is available throughout the world now is very weak. It's very weak. It cannot stand the test of time. The financial infrastructure that we have is nearly collapsed in the face of the pandemic. So we are calling the policymakers that please kindly move quickly, go and work with the private sector, you know, so that you can assist private sectors, because I foresee a situation that after this pandemic is likely they push SMEs into bankruptcy and liquidation. So they must foresee that. They must be proactive. They must let us know that now they are getting their thoughts right. So by the time that pandemic is over, the SMEs will be able to stand on their 2 feet. That is that on the policymaker. But let's go to the policy formulations. Policy formulations, I will now be talking on 2 key issues. One is that how are we going on policy formulations? I will talk on 2 issues. 1, how are we going to adapt institutional framework? How are we going to adapt institutional framework to suit the purpose of SMEs? And number 2 that I will be talking there is that how are we going to provide credit to the SMEs? Let me repeat that one again. 1 is institutional framework. How are we going to adapt it to the favor of SMEs? And then number 2 is that how are we going to provide credit to the SMEs? On the institutional framework, that one is so clear that this period is the period we refer to as period of pandemic. So, and it's the time for forgiveness. Any error that must have been committed, either by error or by mistake, you know, this is time for forgiveness. SME should be pardoned. There's no point in pointing accusing finger to the SMEs in trouble at this time around. They must be completely pardoned. And then that one now leads to, if there is any standard procedures, that standard must be suspended. Because after pandemic, they must not be subjected to any undue prayer. You know, this time as called for, maybe they have engaged themselves in sharp practices, they must be pardoned. And if there's any legal tussle this time around, that is like bankruptcy proceedings, like liquidation proceedings, that's against the SMEs, they should suspend that. This time is not our friend at all. The time is so hostile, it doesn't favor everybody. That is that. Then, on national framework, we want an evergreen loan to be introduced. Evergreen is saying that after this pandemic, all the loans that were acquired by the SMEs is only the interest element that should be paid. Principal, capital sum, they should be forgiven. So meaning that evergreen loan can come in and only interest element that will be paid. The next one, that forbearance. The policy should go along the forbearance measures. Forbearance is the same thing as tolerance. What we are telling the policy formulation is that their policy formulation should contain moratorium of at least maximum 5 years. That it is after the end of that 5 years that the SMEs can now say, okay, be paying your capital sum and the interest. That is after the moratorium. Another one that's very critical is that, and this one is going to all professional accountants, that at the end of the year, by the time you are preparing financial statements for the SMEs, please don't use current value. Don't use market value, because it shows clearly that this time around, all the figures have been distorted. The figures have been overstated. So they should use historical costs, or better still, they can use the figure for the SMC before the pandemic. So I'm saying that in the disclosure requirements of the financial statement, state clearly that all the liabilities, all the debts of the SMEs, including the assets, were disclosed at the historical cost. So you don't distort the information. That document can be robust. The last point there is a warning, to the SMEs that henceforth there is no free lunch. That's why I'm talking of screening exercise. Screening exercise means that after the pandemic, any loan application that is coming from the SMEs must be scrutinized. They must go through the screening process, because their past performance, their good behavior is what is going to be the yardstick for the approval of their loan. There is no more automatic approval, no more blanket approval of loans after the pandemic. Any SMEs that has bad culture of taking loan, utilizing it for personal issues, will not be accepted. So we are saying that henceforth the bad culture will not be tolerated, unethical behavior will not be tolerated. So screening exercise should be a policy that should be used for the SMEs. Then the provision of credit to SMEs. I'm switching to the second point. Provision of credit to the SMEs. I will be talking on monetary policies. I will be talking on fiscal policies and regulatory as a one point. Then the second aspect will now be the policies adopted to transfer risk to the government. What am I saying? Monetary policy, fiscal policy, and regulatory, I will take it as one point. So on the issue of monetary, what we are saying that central bank worldwide, central bank all around the continent, around the globe, they should be advised that their channel of liquidity. Are you with me? The monetary policy policy of all the banks, I mean the central bank, should be channeled to the banks, meaning that that lifeline of liquidity must go straight to the bank, and the bank must be mandated now to channel that fund to the real sector through SMEs. This is a policy. We have to emphasize on that, that now that central bank is giving you line of credit at a reduced cost, mind you, at a lower cost. So that part of the liquidity that's given to the banks at a lower cost should be channeled to the real sector of the economy at what? Through the SMEs. So that is one. Are you with me? Are you getting it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. If that's true, then I will now move to the fiscal policy. On the issue of fiscal policy, the tool to use is the tool of taxation. It has been done in my country. A finance bill that is out now, signed to law by our President Muhammadu Buhari, this FR, stated clearly that in that policy that if you are SMEs and your turnover is between 0 to 25 million, you should not pay company income tax. What you have to pay is just the education tax. And if your turnover is in excess of 25 million to 100 million, what you have to pay is a fraction. It's a fraction of that company income tax, then pay your education tax. It is only when your turnover now is in excess of 100 million that you can now go ahead and pay the company income. That is an incentive. It can be done. It has been done in Nigeria and it's working. Other countries throughout the world can replicate that. On the issue of regulatory authority, what we are saying here is that the financial regulator should reduce. Are you with me? Are you getting me?
Yes,
are you getting me?
Yes, yes.
All right. So we are telling the regulatory authority that, please, the capitalization of banks should be reduced. I'm saying that the financial regulator should reduce the capital requirements, reduce the capital requirements of the banks. So the reduced portion will now be channeled to the bank and give them an incentive that this reduction should go straight to the banking sector, and they must channel it to the real sector through SME. What I'm saying, I'm laying more emphasis on SMEs. And you should know that if there's no incentive for the banks, other people will compete with them. So what we are now saying that capitalization requirements should be reduced. If it is from 25 billion, then now say, okay, it is now 15 billion because of this COVID. That portion should be given to the banks, and give banks an incentive so they can channel it to the real sector. In fact, not they. It must be compared to them, channel it to the real sector, but must pass through the SMEs. So that is that on the monetary aspect, regulatory aspect, and fiscal policy. So I'm now talking on the policies adopted to transfer risk, to transfer credit risk to government. I think my points are clear. If you are not getting it, let me know. The policies adopted to transfer credit risk to government. That's what we are seeing now. And that one is like moral suasion. Moral suasion in the sense that it's an appeal. It's an appeal. The other time when I was talking on policymakers, I was shouting at them that financial infrastructure is very weak. This is where it comes to play. Moral suasion is saying that, please, by the time after the pandemic, and you want to give out loan or credit, consider SMEs first. It's a policy. It must be stated at that. The line of credit under that moral suasion that I'm saying is that banks should be instructed, please channel this money to the banks, and you must consider them first. Because if you don't, large corporations will crowd out SMEs from their source of finance, and they don't have any other way to go. Bank is the most reliable source of finance for SMEs. So the issue here is that that policy must be specified that, okay, when you are giving loans out after the pandemic, SMEs are the first to be considered before others. That's that. Number two, from that aspect, is that capitalization of state-owned banks. The government throughout the globe should listen to this. Please set up a bank and customize it as SME banking and financial services. That state-owned bank must be given a mandate that, okay, don't give money to any other companies. We don't want large corporations here, So their operations must be mandated that it is specifically for the SMEs. Are you with me? So that's what we are saying about the capitalization of this state-owned bank, and this inscription must be there. SME banking and financial services. So SMEs know where to go. They don't have to go to the conventional banks and be struggling with the large corporations. They are crowding them out, and it's unfair. Another point with that is that public credit guarantee program should be set up. This should be set up by the government with the focus on the public provision of guarantee to loans made by banks to the SMEs. Meaning that under this arrangement, banks will set security, banks themselves will the program absorb, the credit guarantee program will absorb part of the SME risk. In case of default, the government bear the risk. So it's like a free risk, to the SMEs. I don't know whether we get that point clear, but I can restate it. Public credit guarantee program should be set up by the government. And their function is that they should, by the time they made loan to the banks, to the SMEs, the program can absorb parts of the SMEs credit risk. And if there is default, it is government that will bear that brunt. That one is done. So the last one here is that, why not? Why not? Capital market too can be developed. The government can authorize the capital markets to reduce their listing requirements in favor of the SMEs. So government and central bank can actually play in the capital market for the favor of the SMEs. That's that on the policy formulation. On the policy implementation, I'm standing here to humbly appeal to the organizer, to the school authority, to the management, that after the end of this robust discussion, a communique should be put together. And when you put that together, don't send this to the authority. Take it to them personally, that when the policy is coming out, these are our policy directions. That when you are plotting your graph of policies, let it be plotted in such a way that it will favor SMEs. That one is very simple. What we are telling the government is that we're not saying you should not formulate policies, but these are the direction, and that will favor SMEs. And that's the way I want us to take it. I want to say again that the policymaker, as I've said, if we don't hammer it, they may not listen. We need effective and prompt coordination. If something is being done by this policymaker, it should be reviewed. There should be a peer review that will say, okay, this document that is coming out is so effective, is so
So you're not audible. I think some technical error is there. Hello. Am I audible to you, sir? Am I audible to you, sir? I request you to kindly connect. You are not audible, sir. Am I audible to you, sir?
Hello?
Yeah.
Can
Now,
you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
yes, sir. Now you are audible, sir.
So I'm now saying that, let me now summarize the entire presentation again, you know.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm now saying that on policymakers, on policy formulations and policy implementation. Policymakers, they are very key. The central banks, the finance ministries worldwide, the financial regulators, and the government, they should come in agreement with themselves. They should come in tandem. They shouldn't produce a document that will not stand the test of time. The document that can be faulted easily. The document like the one we have that collapsed in the face of this pandemic, although this pandemic is very huge, but they should be proactive. They should be proactive in the sense that they should know what is going to happen between now and 5 years from the finance. They should know. That's why they are there. So to avoid policy inconsistency, to avoid policy somersaults. And then the issue of the other one is that financial structure that we have now is so weak, and the target of the weakness of financial structure is against the SMEs. So they should come and work closely. They shouldn't work alone. They should work in tandem with financial sector. So they will know that by the time the pandemic is off our hook, is off our neck, then the SME will not be pushed to liquidation. So those are the things that we have to consider, and that will be my conclusion on that. So I it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be in the presence of the eminent scholars and personalities. You know, those are I now know that I've been given the question and answer, but
Yes, sir.
maybe I will listen to your comments before going to that.
Yeah.
Hello, thank you.
Am I audible
Thank
to
you.
you, sir? Am I audible to you? Can you listen to me?
Oh yes, I'm listening to you.
Yeah. So it was really very informative session, sir. It was wonderful the way you explain how to, manage the economy and how SME should work in this crisis time. So your suggestion of, providing SME loans, capitalization of and set up a bank and the public training for granting loans, they all suggestions are wonderful, and once if we implement, we will definitely come out from this crisis time of COVID situation. So it was wonderful. Now I would like to start the question answer round.
Hello.
Yeah, am I audible to you, sir? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Okay. Exactly.
I think some network issues there.
Hello.
Can you hear me, sir? Are you able to hear me?
Hello.
Are you able to hear me, sir?
Hello.
No, you're actually, you remove your headphones, sir, if it is not comfortable.
I'm hearing you, but it's fluctuating.
Okay, it is fluctuating.
Okay.
I think some network error is there from your side, sir.
So it's my side, but
Some network error is there.
I think I can hear you clearly now. I think it's okay.
Okay, fine.
Uh,
Yeah. So, so we have many questions. Am I audible to you, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think I'm okay. My side is okay. I can.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Okay.
Fine.
I can hear you.
Yeah. So I was telling you,
Yeah.
sir, we can start with the question answer session. And as you see, we
All
have
right.
a lot of compliments from the participant side for your wonderful talk. And
Okay. Thank you very much.
yeah, we have received very lot of question and lot of compliments for you, sir, in our chat box.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So
I'm happy to hear.
my first question, uh, my first question to you, sir, how, see, everyone is facing crisis right now, right? So how this SME should manage their finances for, getting better in the, working in the post-COVID structure?
Okay. Thank you very much. The better way of managing their finances is for the SMEs to go digital. Technology is the main thing now. They should employ the use of technology in their operations. Firstly, there will be a reduction in personnel cost. The operational cost will be reduced, and they will have more profit because that is the bottom line. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because what we are saying here is that how to manage their finances in post-COVID. It has shown clearly that during this pandemic, the lesson that we learn is that everyone must be digital compliant. So doing operation manually and employing so many people is no more in vogue. It's not acceptable. So if they want more profit, they should go digital. Digital in the sense that apart from the equipment cost, which is just, and that one is an asset, but operational cost, which is non-productive, payment, will be saved. So they should go digital. I think that answers the
Yes.
effectiveness of management of finances.
As our
If
Prime
you go,
Minister also said, I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
okay, no, I'm with you. So the how to manage finances effectively is to employ technology. It reduces waste, and your operation will be so transparent. So by that, the finances will be effectively managed. It will lead to a reduction in your cost and operational expenses. So unwanted staff you can let them go, if you are using technology.
Yes, that is very
Okay.
true, sir. That is very true.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and as our Prime Minister also said that Digital India, the campaign he has launched, Digital India, to make the India digital 3-4 years back. So now
Exactly.
it is time to implement that scheme that everyone should go digital. All the SMEs should go digital for this.
Exactly. So they are complementing what I've said. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
my next question is, what is the impact of the global economy on overall, economy, global economy? What is?
Okay. The COVID pandemic, as I've said earlier in my presentation, that they've destroyed the fabric of all the financial infrastructures. So they've charged their effects cut across all the sectors of the economy. From the private sector angle, there's not much that we can do now, that it depends on the policymaker. And that's what I'm emphasizing on them, that equipped, is unprepared. So we are now telling that the better way now to mitigate this impact is for the policymaker to work in tandem with financial sector and ensure that financial structures are well equipped. They should support them, that financial sectors are in line, they are supported, because now they are very weak. So one is that SMEs will be badly affected if the financial structure is not strong. They will just crowd them out. They will crowd out from their source of finance. That is why the issue that Jamin here is the policymaker. Policymakers should know, and they should much be aware and ready to assist the financial sector. The crisis doesn't cause by them, but the pandemic tear them away. So, and they are unable to stand. They are unable to get their feet right. So the advice here to mitigate that impact is that policymakers should please work closely, with the financial sector. I think that's the answer on that.
One of our participants, they have asked one question. I would like to put that question in front of you. That is Sayani Nayak. She has asked that India is forecasting with a negative growth. Will it be advisable to the pool most of finances for SME sector?
I didn't. It's not showing. I thought you said it's showing on the screen.
It is
that question.
Question answer box. It is in the Q&A box.
Okay. What will be the most optimized and win-win solution in kicking back the global economy after COVID phase, Abi?
Yes, sir. Actually, this question was asked by the participant who was attending. We right now have 86 participants with us who are attending your international webinar.
Great, thank you. That's impressive.
Yeah,
very impressive.
One of the participants during this webinar, they have asked this question: that what will be the will it be advisable to pull most finances for SME sector?
The point here is that all the finances can not be for the SMEs because we have large corporations and they are doing very well. Because if you allow large corporations to fail, the multiplier effect on the economy will be more greater. There will be loss of job, there will be unemployment, So what we are saying is that give SMEs the respect that they deserve.
That is
the sector that's producing 90% of global businesses, it should be respected. But at the same time, they shouldn't tamper with large corporations. So what we are saying is that SMEs should be given a proper. They have more weight. That's it on.
Yeah. Okay, fine. My next question, sir, in the row is, what would be the most optimized and win-win solution in kicking back the global economy after COVID-19 phase?
Hello?
Yes, sir. I think some internet issue is there. Am I clear now, sir? Am I audible now?
Oh, yes. You're audible. You're audible. I can hear you clearly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So my next question is, what would be the most optimized and win-win solutions in kicking back the global economy after post-COVID-19?
Okay, the win-win solution here is the effectiveness of the policy documents. Win-win solution here is the effectiveness of the policy documents, and everything still border on the policymakers, because the win-win solution will come in a situation where government is not bearing unnecessary risk. And the SMEs too, they are making profit. The contribution they are doing to the economy is very great. So the win-win situation now will be when you give them more incentive in the area of, finance, pour money to them, and let that money not be for Father Christmas. It's not a gift. They must be repaid, and they must monitor their operations. By the time they borrowed money, for what purpose? That purpose must be clearly stated, and the money must be utilized for it. So what we are now saying is that if the documents they are going to produce by policymakers are so effective in the sense that no inconsistency, no somersault in their policy, yes, SME will smile. The government will get more taxation from them, and the economy will be better for it. There will be more employment. All the macroeconomic objectives will be achieved. Inflation will be reduced. There will be economic growth and development. Balance of payment will be at the equilibrium. So that's what we are saying, that that's the best way to describe the win-win situation. SME is making profit. His contribution to the employment is doing fine with his own operations too. And the government is enjoying the macroeconomic issues. No inflation, the employment rate is increasing. There is economic growth and development, and there's balance of payment equilibrium. So that's the win-win situation that I think we can get when everything is in tandem, when there's cooperation and when there's coordination. There will be less crimes in society, and that's the way to look at it. When the both parties are happy, SMEs can go to the bank and smile to the bank and, send their children to school, and they are better off. They are above the poverty levels. So those are the win-win situation. And the macroeconomic objectives of all the countries are growing. So that's the win-win situation that I think we should emphasize on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was, really very wonderful, and you gave the insight of, SMEs and how to operate SMEs and how to deal with the crisis in this COVID era. That you have given such a beautiful insight of the topic.
Exactly. My message to SMEs is that having outline all these benefits to them, I mean, on the issue of policies, they should now, if they are doing it, they should avoid unethical practices. If loan is awarded and is given to them, let the loan be judiciously spent. Let it be spent for what it's meant for. What we are saying is that unethical issues of collecting loans and you don't repay, that's an unethical issues. That's a bad culture. It cannot be encouraged. It must be discouraged. So, and how to manage the finances, their financial services, that's what I've said. Now that the pandemic is, I think, is rounding up. It's rounding up. It's rounding up. Go and be computer literate. Go and be compliant with digital. And then manage your money in the sense that if the money is meant for operations, let it be so. Don't engage in unethical issues. Don't have bad culture of collecting money and use it for personal issues. That will cause crisis. It's a crisis already. If you have money for the operations and you are now using it for other services, it can't go well. And then they will continue to be. That's how to manage your money effectively. Employ digital, the computer literate, and the finances that you have, let it go straight to the operations. You get more profit, and then from profit, you can now share it to your shareholders and then to your own personal. So that's it. That's how to manage crisis. Use money for what it's meant for, and must be judiciously spent. Prof, that's that. Thank you, Prof.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. It was a really wonderful session, and the details that you have given and the way you have encouraged us for starting your own business, the SME, small and medium business. So that was wonderful, and it was very informative, sir. And
Thank you.
yeah, so we right now have 93 participants with us who were there throughout the
93.
session. Yes,
Ah, lovely, lovely. Well attended.
yes.
Well attended. Well
So
attended. As I've said earlier, Prof, this type of robust discussion should not end in the table of the organizer.
yes,
A communique must be put together, you know, and by the time you put it together, don't send it. It should be taken personally by the top management and delivered to them that this is our own contribution to the policies you are making, and these are the policy direction that we want it to be. I want to say that I'm highly honored, and with every humility in me, I'm so much happy and be grateful
yeah,
for honoring me for this as a speaker on this great occasion of modern group
office.
of institutions. I'm so happy, and I will continue to be grateful.
Yes. Thank you
And
so much.
I don't want to go to any protocol because I will not be pronouncing the name correctly.
Yeah,
So I respect all the eminent scholars, all the eminent personalities here. I feel so honored to be here. Thank you very much.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir, once again. Now, I request, sir, for a 2 minute, last 2 minutes we need last 2 minutes of yours. I request Professor Neha Sharma Chaudhary, head admissions, to propose word of thanks to you, sir.
Ah, lovely.
Thank you so much, madam. A very
Thank
good
you.
afternoon, sir.
Thank you. Ah, lovely, madam. Thank you. I can
Good
see you clearly.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks for you, sir. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Abimbola, sir, for sharing such informative knowledge regarding the policy details on global SME banking and financial services in such short time. It was just fantastic, sir. Thank you so much for being with us. And I also thank our chairman, sir, Shri Anil Kharia, sir, our vice chairman, Shri Shantanu Kharia, sir, and our group director, Dr. Puneet Kumar Vivedi, sir, for creating such a wonderful platform for all of us. Last but not the least, I wanted to say thank to all the participants and attendees for their constant support with us. We have lined up a lot of webinars in future also. Stay connected with us and keep learning with us. Once again, on the behalf of entire Modern Group family, I extend my thank to all of you. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Once again, on behalf of entire Morton family, I extend my heartfelt thank you to you, sir. In future,
Oh, thank you
we
too.
will line up your sessions because the session was wonderful. So we will again call you for the session. So once again, thank you so much. I thank all the participants, those who were there throughout the session, and you will receive the e-certificate within 7 working days from the date of the webinar. And we also have one more webinar today at 4 p.m. and I have shared the link for the same in the chat box. So please join us at 4 p.m. And on behalf of again Modern Group, I thanks all of you. And
Thank you.
in case if you are not all the participants, I request all the participants, in case if you are not receiving the e-certificates, then please check your inbox, your promotion box, as well as your spam folder for the same. You will definitely get the certificate. Thank you so much. And the
Thank you.
feedback link you will receive on your email only. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you.
I feel so honored. Thank you. Thank you.
Namaste, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.